the co-director of the organization Standing Together. It's an Israeli organization, Palestinians and Jews. There was an event in Tel Aviv calling for a ceasefire in Israel and Gaza. And this is Rula Daoud. She's one of the co-directors. And the point being here is that you're not going to find any type of security. There's going to be no peace until, and well, she says it better than I would. Listen to this. I'll read it off because it's in Hebrew. An hour from here, a war is raging. They told us that it would destroy Hamas. They said it would lead to the release of the hostages. But after 103 days of war, none of that has happened. The hostages continue to die. Those who returned because of negotiations. Hamas is only getting stronger. And what's been destroyed are the lives of Gazans, of children and women and men, of innocent civilians whose homes have been destroyed, who have nothing to eat, who have no hope. And on this side of the border, tens of thousands of people from the Gaza envelope experienced a terrible massacre on the 7th of October, lost family and friends. And now they don't know when they will be able to return to their homes. How does any of this benefit any of us? In favor of the people who live here, how much more blood will be spilled before we understand that this war is destroying us? How many more people will be killed before we understand that this isn't the way to achieve security? How many more houses will be destroyed? How many more dreams will be abandoned before we understand that there will not be hope on one side of the barrier unless there's also hope on the other side? That the fate of the Israelis and Palestinians is interconnected. That it's either we all will live in peace and freedom, or none of us will. That's it. I mean, at the end of the day, that is the fact. You can put aside the moralizing. You can put aside the questions, the legal questions as to whether an occupier has a right to defend themselves, and the occupied have a right to using any means necessary, international, the niceties of international law, incidentally. But at the end of the day, if there's going to be security for anybody in the region, it has to be security for everybody in the region.
And what Matt was saying about how, to the extent, and you were paraphrasing someone else, I forget, but to the extent that there are embers in Israel that are starting to have see cracks and they're kind of carefully curated life in the way it's perceived or shown to them, right, is like they're starting to see images from the outside of what's happening in Gaza, and pressure is coming through, and also, of course, the grief and fear about their family members, and if they're the family members of those hostages, if that can be, we can put oxygen into that and put on pressure, put pressure on Netanyahu from the outside and encouraging these kinds of things. That's the only way we'll get peace as well. So it's good to see that, and it seems like those protests are getting increasingly more frequent and more voluminous in Israel.
Yeah, who knows? I don't. I mean,
because there's a part of me in my, reflexively, where I'm like, I want to hear from Palestinians on this right now, like the people that are facing the genocide, right? But at the same time, the way that levers of power, the only the party that can stop the genocide is Israel right now. Yep. And Netanyahu's going to have to answer to the incentives domestically. Which is scary. Well, I thought we were striking a more hopeful tone here, Matt.
Good job, Matt.
Yeah.
That's a real thing.
Yep.